Hey, welcome back to the channel, Tea Times for Two, Golf Travel for Couples. Hey, I'm Scott, and if you're new to the channel, normally my wife Cheryl and I rate and review golf courses and resorts from around the world for couples who are looking for great places for golf and travel. However, today we're continuing our series from Scotland that my brother, my son, and I played on our family pilgrimage back to the country of our ancestors. And today we're in Inverness, Scotland at the modern links masterpiece, Castle Stuart by Hanse, and we're going to rate and review the golf course. So stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. For those of you new to our channel, we rate each golf course or resort based on 5 categories. Category 1, the course layout and its playability for all levels of player. Category 2, its aesthetics or the beauty of the golf course. Category 3 is the course conditions. Category 4, in our Scotland series, we do the course history. And then category 5, we rate the value or bang for the buck that you're going to get playing this golf course. For category 1, for layout, we're going to give Castle Stuart 4 stars. And for playability for players of all levels, we're going to give it 4 stars. Castle Stuart is part of the Cabot Highlands complex now. It's 18 holes designed by Hanse, and a second 18, which is going to open up shortly, designed by Tom Doak, called Old Petty. Castle Stuart has 5 sets of tees running from about 5,000 yards to a little over 6,900 yards and opened in 2009. Castle Stuart was voted Best New Course in 2009 by Golf Magazine, and it's hosted the Scottish Open 4 times from 2011 to 2016. The course is located about 6 miles northeast of Inverness in the Scottish Highlands and is on the site of Stuart Castle. The Mary, Queen of Scots, donated the land for her brother, I believe it was, her brother-in-law, and the castle was finished in 1625 and is now a hotel. The course runs along the Moray Firth, which you have beautiful views of, which is just east of Inverness. Castle Stuart's really playable by all players of all levels, as the fairways are really wide and generous. But it isn't the kind of course which will intimidate the average golfer from the tee. There aren't any horrible carries, and there's plenty of safe options on each of the holes. Reminds you a lot of Bandon Dunes and the courses there. Or from here in Frisco, Texas, where Hanse designed the PGA headquarters, the Fields East course, the championship course that they played the senior PGA on, and they're going to play the women's PGA this summer. And a couple of years down the road, they're playing the men's PGA at. So it's a lot reminiscent of that. Big, wide fairways, but it's a second shot golf course with all the trouble around the greens. Hanse used lots of mounding on the course, and it ensured that holes are played in isolation from the others, which the next hole's only revealed after the current hole's been played, which is really neat. Unlike the old course at St. Andrews, where you can literally see 4 or 5 golf courses right there. This one, each one's really isolated, and you feel like you're out there by yourself. Another eye-catching feature throughout the golf course is the use of really big, wild-looking waste bunker areas that kind of mark off the fairways and the green sites, and it adds to a really wild, natural feel to the course. And then the first 3 holes on both 9s run along the Moray Firth, which offers terrific views of the Black Isle in the distance. The other 6 holes run inland and gain an elevation from the other 3 holes, so you're working your way inland and up. And you get some really great views from up there. You wouldn't think you would as you do on the 3 that start off each night, but you get some really terrific views from up top as well. Category 2, aesthetics, or the wow factor for Castle Stuart, we're going to give it 4.5 stars. While the 6 holes that are out on the Moray Firth offer the most stunning views, there's a couple of inland holes that were too good to leave off our list of favorite holes. And remember, when we booked this trip, or I planned this trip out, if you've watched our video, if you haven't, you need to watch it on how to plan the trip to Scotland yourself and save you thousands of dollars. While I was setting this trip up, we wanted to play classic, traditional, historic seaside links courses. But I had watched those 4 Scottish Opens and fell in love with the golf course and thought, well, while we're going to be playing Royal Dornoch, we might as well get this one in since they'd hosted the Scottish Open. And I was so glad we did. And so was my brother and my son. Some of our favorite holes. Number 1, it might be the most visually stunning first hole you'll ever play.
The Scottish Open here.
The Moray Firth is down the right. And you've got a high gorse covered hill that you have to wind down to get to the first tee box. It's all the way down the left on a really wide fairway. And it's a great way to start a day and a round of golf. And then your second shot's down back toward the Firth there. Into a really huge green. And that's another aspect of this golf course, of really big greens with lots of undulation in them. Very, very reminiscent of his work here in Frisco, Texas at the PGA headquarters. After that, then you play number 2, which is a reachable par 5. It has a split fairway. The long hitters can reach the higher tier on the left, which makes it the hole reachable in 2 and a much better angle coming into the green. Most, though, will play it as a 3-shot hole, and the third can be played any number of ways, including bouncing the ball in off the hill left, and it will slope down toward the green. And the green is really, really undulating out there on the Firth. Number 3 was my favorite hole on the course. It's a short par 4 that's drivable for big hitters, but the massive green is protected by really deep bunkers. So if you go for it, you can be really penalized if you find one of those bunkers. Also, there's a unique feature short of the upslope to the green, which makes it a little more difficult to run the ball up on the green. And it really looks like a bunker when you're walking up there. I think I'll put a picture of it up here, but it's really just a revetted face to keep a player from bouncing the ball in or from using your putter from 40 yards off the green like you do at so many links golf courses here. So I thought that was a really cool feature he added in. Then number 4, you start work your way back inland. It's a medium to long par 3, played inland right toward the Stuart Castle you can see here in the distance. An avid golfer, Mary Queen of the Scots, would definitely be proud that the terrific golf course on the land that she donated or deeded to her half-brother. The green is a bowl, so even though it's a longer par 3 and it can play into that wind, the bowl will feed shots onto the green. Hole number 6 is a short par 5 that plays back into the Firth. You can see it off in the distance with its perched up infinity green that slopes off severely on all 4 sides. Your approach shot's going to have a terrific view of the highlands in the distance. It's a really gorgeous par 5. And then number 8 is a really long, beautiful par 3 that plays downhill to a massive green, only part of which you can see because you from the tee box. Literally, you can have a putt on this green that's 30, 40 yards long, kind of reminiscent of some of the greens at the old course. So it's a really cool hole. You might hit the green, but then you're looking at a 3-4 putt if you don't get it somewhere near the pin. Hole number 10 is a short par 4 that's a mirror image of number 1 with the sea to the left on this one, with the huge dune and the gorse on the right on this one. And then the fairway slopes hard right to left. And you can't see this deep fairway bunker on the left side of the fairway from the tee box. So be careful of that when you want to hit it out to the right, favor the right, because remember, it's all going to slope back toward that bunker. Then number 11 is a short par 3 along the Firth with a severely tilted green and a huge bunker right. Guard this infinity green that you got amazing views you can see here of the Moray Firth and then the highlands across the bay. Number 12 is a 3-shot par 5, and it's the last hole you're going to have along the Firth, and it gradually works its way uphill. And it's got trouble off both sides of the tee and then around the green. So, you know, those of you who try to go for par 5s and 2, you're going to find lots of trouble down both sides here. So basically, it's just make it a 3-shot par 5, keep it in play, and avoid a big number. Then hole number 16 is another drivable par 4, and it's probably the easiest hole on the golf course, which is why I liked it, with very little trouble off the tee. And this is a really good chance to make birdie, and you're going to need it after playing some of these holes, especially up on top, that are exposed to the wind. So it becomes a nice respite on your way back into the clubhouse. And you're going to need it because 17, the next hole, is a monster of a par 3 that's over 200 yards. That is a slight dog leg left. Yes, a slight dog leg left. If you play your tee shot to the left, the contours of the hole will take your ball back down to the green and help you avoid all the trouble that's on a direct line. But if you go too far left, you can see that gorse that you're going to end up in down there. So you really want to play it a fade in there if you can and hit it up the left side and just let the contours take it down to the green. But if you try to go direct line, you're bringing a ton of trouble into play on this one. And it is long. And then last hole, 18, is a gorgeous par 5. You're up on top of a giant hill and you've got an incredible view from the tee box. It's a dogleg right that plays a lot shorter than the distance as most of the holes downhill. However, going for it in 2 brings a lot of trouble into play, if you can see right off the hole here. So it's much safer to play out toward the clubhouse on the left side and then just leave yourself a simple pitch shot down onto the green. Give yourself a chance for birdie and finishing your round. Category 3, course conditions. We're going to give Castle Stuart 5 stars. The greens, the fairways, the tee boxes were in perfect shape when we played it the first week of April, which is really surprising because remember, we're in the Highlands of Scotland. And you're getting close up there to the Arctic Circle before too long. So to be that great a shape in April, it was definitely fully first class in every way. Of course, it's going to remind you a lot of Bandon Dunes, all 5 courses really, but especially Bandon Dunes itself and Pacific Dunes. It would literally, you could put it right next door to both of them and it would look like it belonged on the resort just like them. So it was a terrific layout by Gil Hanse. And it was our first round of the day as we got to play one of the top 5 courses in the world that afternoon at Royal Dornoch. So it was really a special day of golf for us, even though it was a little chilly out on that in the first week of April. Category 4, for course history, we're going to give Castle Stuart 1 star. It's kind of unfair. You really can't rate a course built in 2009 higher than a 1 star for history, especially when you stack it up against all the other courses in Scotland. But Castle Stuart has hosted 4 Scottish Opens, like I said before, between 2011 and 2016. The winners of those Scottish Opens at Castle Stuart include Luke Donald, Jeeves Milka Singh, that's on the senior tour now, Phil Mickelson, and Alex Noren from Sweden. Nevertheless, Castle Stuart is a terrific course, and now they're going to have 36 holes come this summer with the opening of Old Petty, designed by Tom Doak of Bandon Dunes fame. And it would make a terrific play if you're not hung up on playing traditional old seaside links courses while in Scotland. But I assure you, Castle Stuart looks like it's been there for hundreds of years. Category 5, value or bang for your buck, which for couples like Cheryl and I, this is probably the most important of them. We're going to give Castle Stuart 1.5 stars. It is not cheap. In April, first week of April. Now remember, this is a shoulder season. It cost us right at $325 US with the exchange. In summer, the rates go up even more to around $425 US. So it is not cheap. In fact, along with Prestwick and Carnoustie, they were the most expensive ones of the 11 that we played in Scotland by far. To give you an example, literally we played Cruden Bay for half of what we paid to play Castle Stuart. Royal Aberdeen was about half of what we paid to play Castle Stuart. So it's not cheap, but it is definitely a first-class experience. So if you're rating value by what you're getting are you getting what you paid for? Well, you're definitely getting top quality golf course in first class in every way, shape, or form. But it is not cheap. Would I play it again? I might, because I might want to play the Old Petty after it opens. But if I went to the Highlands again, I would probably play more of the hidden gems like Brora and Royal Dornoch again, of course, to get more of a seaside links or old traditional with the quirks and all. But if you're going for first class experience, Castle Stuart's your ticket. All right, let's recap and give Castle Stuart an overall score. I'm going to give Castle Stuart 4 stars. While I absolutely love Castle Stuart, the layout, the aesthetics, the conditioning, all of it was first class. However, I can't give it 5 stars because the high cost brings the overall course rating down. It was the most expensive course we played in Scotland, almost 3 times what we paid for the new course and the Jubilee, maybe even 4 times what we paid to play those. If you put Castle Stuart at Bandon Dunes, it would land among those masterpieces, and it would be rated as high as those are. And when we went to Bandon, we played all 5 of those for $100 each in the 3rd week of November. So the summer rates at Bandon Dunes are about what we paid to play Castle Stuart. But if you go in November, you can play courses that are extremely similar to Castle Stuart for $100 each here in the good old US and save that airfare over to Scotland. So if you played Castle Stuart, let us know what you thought. Was it worth the trip up into the Scottish Highlands? Now, the Scottish Highlands are gorgeous. You're going to absolutely love the drive up there. Really, really pretty. And if you go when we went, you don't have to worry about the sand fleas, or I think they call them midges over there. But we didn't see any that everybody talks about in the summertime. So if you played it, let us know what you thought. Leave them in the comments below. We love hearing from our viewers. In fact, that's why we did the Scotland series. We had so many people ask us, had we been to Scotland? So that's why we did the series. And as always, remember, if you like this video, got some value out of it, please be sure and hit the like and subscribe button below so we can keep providing content for couples like us who like to travel and play golf. And be sure to check back next week, our newest installment of our Scotland series, as we drive further up north into the Highlands from Inverness. And we're going to play the world-renowned Royal Dornoch Golf Club, the home of Donald Ross. And then check out many of our other series, from Myrtle Beach to Las Vegas to Scottsdale Phoenix to Cabo San Lucas and my all-time favorite, Bandon Dunes. So hopefully we're going to see you on the first tee someday. Let's keep hitting them straight.